Hey guys, your humble host. So real quick, I wanted to put something out there. Something that I think really needs to be said and something that needs to be brought to the light because, back then I didn't have all the information. Back then I was in a different state of mind. And back then I wasn't quite as grown up as I am now. So recently I have been battling with people, or rather arguing with people, in the comment section of 3 videos that will be in my description. And these videos are all directed at me. And they are from what is called the commentary community, or the CC for short. Now, to give a little bit of context to each video, let's start with the first one. The first video has to do with an old 8-month-old video of mine that it's no longer on my channel, it's mirrored somewhere on YouTube, and that I, a little while ago, made a reflection video on. And I debunked all of my points on my old video. Now, I was going to leave it at that, I really was, and just kind of walk away. And I went back to this video, this commentary on my old video, and there were severe glaring problems, and I said so in the comment section. And this started this massive shitstorm, and it created 2 other videos. What was brought up in my old video, and one of the glaring problems in their video, was that I had doxed some kid or ran some guy off the web because I didn't like the way he did things. When, in truth, that story was completely twisted, and what was presented in my original video was a brief description, or brief synopsis, if you will, of what took place 4 years ago and my hand in it. Now, rewind about 4 to 5, maybe 6 years ago, and I was part of this community, kind of struggling because I had never really been on YouTube that much, and I still didn't have a grasp what commentaries were, much less how to make a video. So my audio was like really bad, and my points were just really weird. And yeah, I didn't get it back then. So anyway, while I was bumbling around in this community, sometimes coming across like an egghead and sometimes not, I came across a really bizarre and messed up situation that started with me coming across a bunch of jokes. Sorry, that is my cats. They went in my room. These jokes had to do with screwing an Xbox. Granted, I could not wrap my head around these jokes. I didn't understand these jokes. So I left a comment on someone's video with said joke. And what it was explained to me is that a guy had screwed his Xbox live on YouTube and left it on YouTube, and now everybody's making fun of him for it. So that kind of got my curiosity. I was given the name, and I went to this guy's channel thinking there's no way in hell this was done. Why would you even stick this on YouTube? It doesn't make any sense. So when I went to this guy's channel, the video was gone. And I left a message for this guy saying, hey, I'm hearing this about you. I keep seeing these jokes everywhere. Is this true? And he responded. And it led up to me pulling him in my Skype. Now, back then, I didn't really know what autism was, what autistic people were, and back then I was not diagnosed with it. I have been diagnosed with it a few years back, but indirectly. I know that sounds weird, but the psychiatrist that gave me the diagnosis put anxiety to change or fear of change, and she did so because she was scared of the insurance companies not giving me insurance for having an Asperger diagnosis. Anyway, I did not know what autism was, and I did not know what really was wrong with this kid, and I didn't know this kid was low functioning autism at the time. Or this guy, rather. I talked to him and quickly figured out that he wasn't all there. He didn't express himself right, and he didn't really know what reality was. he thought Raven from Teen Titans, the cartoon, not Teen Titans Go, but the original cartoon from Magoozy, Toonami, he thought that was real. So I continued to talk with him over Skype and tried to reason with him, and found out that people were messing with him bad. Kept following him around, kept cyber stalking him, kept pulling him into calls just to get DR material off him. They'd tell him that Raven wasn't real, that she didn't want to be his friend. They'd ask sexual questions of him. And anybody who has actually been around a low-functioning autistic person, they have the mind of a little kid. They don't respond appropriately. They don't talk well. Their movements are funny. And when it comes to their sexual feelings, they will express their way or themselves in the most inappropriate way possible, whether that's verbal or physical. And that's what this guy did. Flukedogg. This is what Flukedogg did. He expressed himself in a very inappropriate sexual way. And he would sometimes get sexual with me. And I would correct him, go, no, we don't express these things like that, especially to me. I don't want to hear it, and this is not what you tell people. So me and two other YouTubers try to continuously work with him. And the other YouTubers, Testament Axel and Lady Objection, kept trying to talk with him. Testament Axel kept trying to get all these people off of Skype. And I don't know how many calls I've had to pull this guy out of. Just say, hey, they're screwing with you. They're not your friends. They're messing with you. So it got so bad that I pulled this guy to my personal Facebook. It was safer there. Nobody had my personal Facebook. You can't even dig for me unless I give you my name. So I don't use my real name on like anything online at all. So anyway, I pulled him to my Facebook because I knew people couldn't follow me there. People couldn't follow him there. And I tried to talk with him further. And it got to a point where I had to reach further. I had to figure out what else to do. I was still in my parents' house. I didn't have any contact information of this kid outside of Facebook or Skype, so I didn't have a personal phone number. I didn't know what to do. It got bad. And I had never been in this situation before. So it got to the point where, with him being on my friends list on my Facebook, he had his mother listed. So I went and I contacted his mother. And I'm like, hey, you know what, I want subscriptions, this is this happening. And she responded back to me, and at first it was hostile. She did not like me too much, and she flat out told me, if he's bothering you, leave him alone, go away. And instead of getting defensive, I had to explain, no, I'm one of his subscriptions. This is what's been happening. He's not listening to me. He doesn't understand what is going on, and I need help because it's getting bad, and they keep getting worse and worse. They will not leave him be. So she knew what was going on. She was aware of it. And eventually, she pulled him off the web. Now, fast forward to today. Fast forward to those 3 videos. What has broken out in the comments when I try to go and thoroughly explain what had happened, it ended up with me being accused of protecting a potential rapist, and 2 other YouTubers came forward and told me he made us leave our DA accounts, or we got so scared we left our DA accounts. One even claimed that she abandoned her YouTube channel or left YouTube because of this guy, when in truth she had a debacle on an old channel of hers and left. Now, seeing how I came after the Xbox incident, after he was messed with sexually to that point and it put publicly on YouTube, I came in after that fact. So anything before, I have no knowledge of. I just have hearsay. That's about it. So fast forward to, like I said, the 3 videos. Let's fast forward all the way to the 3rd one, where a particular user, TOGProfessor, makes a video in regards to me in response to the comments on in the section of the first and second video. And he gets after me because I discredit Lady Phoenix's story. She's the one that came to me saying that she left YouTube because of this guy when she used to have a fan fiction channel. And whatever happened, she got pissed and left. And she came to me trying to tell me that she left because of this guy. Now, like I said, I have hearsay. No evidence. But I do know it has been documented that these people, low-function autistic people and mental people, can either have a predatory behavior or what seems like predatory behavior because they don't know how to express their sexual side appropriately. So I'm not going to put that off the table. But I do know that there's a lot of miscommunication with Flukedogg, with this guy. That much I do know. So with this video that TOGProfessor did to me, I get accused of victim blaming and defending a potential rapist. I also learned something new about this situation that I didn't know 4 years ago. I get a confession in this video saying that he got this kid, he was the one that got this kid, this low-functioning autistic guy, talked him into messing with his Xbox and posting it online. He was the one that got this low-functioning autistic kid to do this. That is in this third video, and it's at, I believe, the beginning. I don't have an exact timestamp for you. But after confessing this, he goes on to chastise me, saying how I'm a victim blamer, and how dare I, da-da-da-da. So, and granted, he's still a part of the CC. He was a part of the CC back then, and he's still a part of the CC now. I did not want to do this video. I didn't want this crap all over my YouTube channel. I did not want this over my Twitter. But you know what? I've had enough. And the fact that people are still standing behind what happened 4 years ago, the fact that you defend your actions, TOG, the fact that other people defend your actions is quite disgusting. Frankly, it does not matter what this kid did anymore, because you went out of your way to make a fool of him. You went out of your way to sexually exploit him. And had you done that outside of the web, your ass would have been in jail. I don't do call-out videos. I don't see the point to them, because usually they're over stupid stuff. But this isn't stupid. This is serious. This could have had legal repercussions, jail time, if not serious fines for messing with a mental person. Now, I understand this guy made people uncomfortable with what he expressed. Now, I'm not going to deny or pass out the possibility that he may have come across predatorial to these two women. I'm not going to deny that. I don't believe he did, considering the way that he behaved with me and Lady Objection, and the way that he responded, and yet how he was in constant panic. But no. And I have not gotten a response from you. I probably still won't get a response from you. I'll be surprised if you leave something in the comments. You know, I try to come at you from an adult. I tried to do it back then. And you still want to stand by the CC. This is the dark side of the CC. Granted, if some of these guys were around back then or not, but a lot of them were. You still stand by what happened with this guy, what was done to this guy. There are 3 reasons why this is justified. Number 1, TOG, you justified that it was okay to do because you were trying to make, you wanted to make a fool out of him because he supposedly stalked Lady Phoenix and Ginger and Rome. So that was done in revenge or whatnot. Reason number 2, that TOG wanted to see just how far the rabbit hole went with what he can get this guy to do sexually with his Xbox. Number 3, he deserved it. So this is the CC. All these comments you will see in the 3 videos in the description. This is the CC, and you know what? This community, I've tried to be part of it, and I'm not going to deny it. For a time, I did enjoy it. I really did. But, you know what? I moved on, and I just realized just how backwards this community was. And how much smack and how much shit they'll talk, but when stuff gets serious, they're nowhere to be found. Or they sit in their little corners and try to fling as much dirt on you as humanly possible. You know, after watching Mr. Metokur's videos, after Jim's videos, granted I don't agree with how he went about them, but after watching them and watching a particular commentator, which I don't know who and when doxed this one, but watching Jim's video and getting revealed who this particular commentator was, I realized that a lot of the commentators are quite similar to this person mentioned in Jim's video. And it kind of hit me. It's like, you know what? No, I need to say something because this is messed up. And it needs to be shared, and as innocent as this community likes to act, anybody who calls them out on their crap is instantaneously the bad guy. Now granted, the first time around, I didn't do it right. The first time around, I was troubled and I was under stress. But you know what? This time around, I have my priorities in order. I have what I want to say. You have your ringleaders in the CC. You have people who will start stuff or just have an ego problem. Now, I have named Pacific YouTubers, and TOG being one of them. So what I will say to you, and I'm really hoping I can have that conversation to you. I'm not going to repeat what I sent to you because that's inappropriate. But I really do want your story of what happened back then. What led you to sexually exploit that low-functioning guy. I really do. I really want to put out there what happened with this community, and that this community still stands by it. This is how messed up this community is. Granted, not every single person is like this, because there are some good people in the community. There are people who won't go near this situation at all, and good for them. They're staying as far away from it as they can, either out of fear, or they don't fully understand what's going on, or they want nothing to do with it. But for those who are involved and still stand by it, unfortunately their actions overshadow the rest of the community. And that's really sad to say. So I don't like doing these types of videos. I've never done these types of videos before. But, you know, I wanted to get my story out there. And granted, I'm not the best YouTuber. I'm really not. I have a life and job outside of YouTube. I do not make YouTube my job, my primary goal, my earnings, if you will. And there's nothing wrong with people who do. My point is, I do not make it that. So, I don't care. I really don't. My problem is, I guess, is that I am the real person that I am in real life. I am that same person online. So, and that has been my downfall and my strength, and especially with this community, because I have never been able to wrap my freaking head around how these people operate. I really don't. And as you can see from the comments, I've been arguing with a lot of them. I've come across snarky, yes. Nice does not work with this community. It never has. They will go about their way thinking that what they said was accurate when it's nothing more than them talking shit. But I wanted to get my story out there, what happened with this guy, and the guy who started it, by the way, and his own confession of it, regardless of what this low-functioning autistic guy did. Now, I'm not condoning any of this guy's actions. I'm not defending any of this guy's actions. But I, as an adult, have at least some common sense as how to deal with these things, instead of dragging people out into the open who don't function properly, who make other people uncomfortable, dragging them out in the open just to screw with them. That's something I don't do. I do the adult thing, and if I can step in and squelch it and help, then I do. I've done it before with DA, with helping getting a sex offender off of DA. That is what adults do. They don't drag people out into the open and sexually exploit them. They don't get them to do sexual things just to see how far the rabbit hole will go. I mean, how screwed in the head are you? Really? Anyway, I'm sorry if this puts off my viewers, but this is something I've been dealing with for the past 3 to 4 days, and it was high time that I get my own story out there in regards to it, because this was something that was legit serious. This was something that needed to be said, that is still being stood by as the right thing happening, and how these people function. Granted, it is not every single one of them, no. But it is a good majority of them. And that is sad to say. And I will not back down from what I've said here or what I have said in the comments. Don't like it? I don't care. I really don't give a shit anymore. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to end this video, and you guys have a good night.